So I was introduced to sexual activity when I was very young. So I was about 8 years old when it was happening at the time. And this abuse of course, it had its terrible moments, but it also had some situations that were benefiting me. The physical side of it was stimulating for my body, and because I was so young, there was no judgment on what was right or wrong, so it was just something I was doing that was giving me good feedback. But my abuser was also giving me good emotional support. But as adults now, we understand that that's actually manipulation, but at the time it felt like support. And it would be when I'd do something that I knew he liked very much, that afterwards he would give me like a lot of encouragement and praise and attention and like focus on me. And I cling to this because outside of the abuse, I was in quite a chaotic home, so I wasn't getting it there. So what this sexual activity did at such a young age was it opened this area of my brain, the sexual area, activated it, and it was turned on. And I started to get like addicted to these, this feedback, this physical and emotional feedback that I was getting from the abuse. Now, the abuse kind of stopped, and I don't know the details of how it stopped, but it kind of like tailed off. It must have been going on for about a year or two, I think. And when it stopped, all of a sudden, I felt lost. There was no one giving me any good feedback anymore. There was no stimulation anymore, something that I'd got so used to. And I felt like I'd been abandoned. So I managed to create this, create these sensations on my own. I'd be in my bed and I'd get my pillow and hug it like this really tight, like I was cuddling somebody. And then I'd gyrate on the mattress, which gave me that physical sensation. So I was kind of getting what I needed. And I'd do this whenever I could, which was kind of like feeding this like weird kind of mentality that I had grown into. Now, fast forward a couple of years, and my body took its natural progression, and I came into puberty. And I remember this day so well. I actually kind of smile at the memory, because I was walking through the shop. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was walking through this shopping centre, and all of a sudden, all I could see was boobs everywhere. It was like a trance. It was like they were everywhere. It's like, you know when they say people who chase money, they've got like pound signs in their eyes. It was like I was walking around with just two breasts in my eyes. That's all I could see. And then I went into my 20s, and if you look back at my 20s, my behavioural patterns, I was very much veering towards non-committed relationships, friends with benefits, and it was great fun. I wouldn't change it for the world, but I was doing that for a very long time, and I was very much running the control. I was very much in control of the situation. That's how I felt, and I felt safe there. The sex was very much me dominating, and if you look back at what I was watching on the internet, it was very much where the women were submissive. So it seemed to be where I felt comfortable, because I suppose what you could say is that I was afraid to give my emotional and physical, commit emotionally and physically into anything, because the last time I did that when I was 8 years old, I got abandoned. And also, now as I grow up as an adult and I look back at that, last time I gave myself emotionally and physically, it actually was a very terrible and awful situation. Now I'm in my 30s. When you look back at the time I spent in my 30s now, it seems like things are starting to change, and that puts a smile on my face. So I still get involved in non-committed relationships, one step at a time, and I'm still involved in the Friends with Benefits, and I've got no complaints with that. And so it's all going okay, but now it's not so much me trying to control everything or me trying to be this dominant figure. It's kind of like becomes a slight balance. And as I mentioned, this has started to happen in my 30s. And what's really interesting is it was actually in my 30s that I started speaking out about the abuse. I kept it inside of me for 25 years. I didn't tell a soul. And I started speaking out in my 30s, and there's kind of like this correlation between me accepting and coming out and speaking and trying to spread some knowledge to me actually maybe resetting my thinking about giving myself emotionally and physically. So maybe it's actually the talking that we all need to release some of what happened to us as a youngster. So with the theme of Sexcapades tonight, I just wanted to come and talk about my sexual adventure from when I was a really young boy, and I'm so grateful for all of you listening. Thank you very much.